Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Set. 180. Right there in the middle. 55. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Check. Check. Check.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Ready.
On second down now, it's Johnson, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Here's Stafford. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
On second down, it's Johnson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
To throw is Stafford. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Ty Johnson, rookie 6th-rounder from Maryland. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds on the return way back at the 11.
Ready? Blue white. White. Check right.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 15.
On 2nd down, Cook. Room here to run. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Watch the enemy. Check 31. Green, Timothy. 40. Watch the slap.
Working out of the gun. Winston. Dancing to his left. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Trey Flowers make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Our first update now comes from Atlanta. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Let's get it.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down.
Check. Crunch. Mike's 40. Come on. Sunday. Check 20. 5-0. 6.
From the gun, Winston. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 34-yard line. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this and, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll wind up losing yardage here, back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Winston now. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Winston. And it'll be intercepted. It's Will Harris, the rookie from Boston College, who picked it. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster, 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
They're never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized. Executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
15 yards on the play. First down.
15. First down, Detroit.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Hey. Hey, watch that. Check 50. Let's get this ball back.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Johnson on the counter. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Stafford steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Running from the gun, Johnson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Cook. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Play action now, Winston. Flush to his right. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. On 1st and 10, Winston. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And got his man complete. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook, and he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This a 43-yard attempt. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. So we've reached halftime at a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Winston from the gun on third down. Eluding the pressure. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Flowers in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over first and 10.
180. Check. Watch the before. Rerun. Get the ball.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 41.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. On the ground, this is Johnson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7, forthcoming. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
From the 41, Winston. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 27 yards there, a first down.
27 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Even. Under 10. Under 10. 10. Hey, alert 3. Alert 3. Let him go.
Again, it's Cook. And an alley to run. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 16 yards, a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On first down, Cook. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 yards on the play, first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 43. Out of the gun, Stafford. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
It's a pickup of 6.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Right there, 54, right there, right. Easy. Let's go, you tighten up. Let's go.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. That's going to be caught. Touchdown! with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are once again going to retake the lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be taken in at the 1.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Another toe for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Flushed out right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Winston to throw for it on 4th. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Trey Flowers. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. The first down carry here for Johnson. Able to power through. And the stiff arm proved fruitful for a second, but the daylight quickly snuffed out. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's brought down. 11 yards there, 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Mike 40, check, he's coming. I got one.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold him to 3 to keep this a 1-score game. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Here we go, a big play and a tight game late. They're going on 4th and goal.
32.
They run. It's Johnson. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. Johnson kept out of the end zone on 4th down. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll look to throw. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
They cannot hold us down.
Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Lions, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5, and they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.